All right, y'all. Happy release day to me. I am excited. I decided to do something a little different. I wanted to do a little documenting. Excuse me in advance. I say a lot. I don't have a reason that I can explain, but I'm just gonna be very random and ranting, and I tend to forget what it is I'm trying to say sometimes when I'm talking, so excuse that too. But anyway, I'm in the car. I'm on my way to work, but today is release day for my new release, Perfect Rhythm, and I am pretty excited about it, mostly because of what I know is in store for the series and what's to come. Like I literally have it figured out already in the way the dots will connect, and it's something I've always wanted to do. When I first started writing, I kind of did it when I did my series then, but not exactly in the same way that I'm doing it now. Like very, very similar, but the way I like to connect my series is something that just makes me really happy. Let's see, where do I begin? So as excited as I am, I'm also a little nervous because this is the first time I am releasing a book where the cover doesn't have an actual human on it. But I really, really wanted to do a cover that represented more of the story, but still kind of gave like this lovey type romantic, darkish, not dark romance because that's not what it is, but still gives like this vibe that I wanted. And I feel like I achieved that with this cover, but like I said, it's just different for me because I love representing Black romance on my covers, but I just really, really, really wanted to. I just have always wanted to have covers that didn't necessarily have people on them, because sometimes I like for my readers to be able to decide what the characters look like based on what they read. Even though in my group I did share some visuals, one of those visuals will change because and it's gonna be Sky, and that's because I have a different feel and look for who she is and who I want her to be. So if you are in my group and you saw the original image that I chose for Sky, I'm sorry, that ain't her no more. But I don't know if that's something I'm going to continue to do as far as visually, as far as showing exactly what the characters look like, because although I have the way that I see them, I definitely want you guys to have the way that you see them based on what you're reading. Like, because that's how I am as a reader. When I read books, I very seldom do I actually pay any attention to what the author said the characters look like, because I formed what they look like based on the voice that I've given them in my head. And so that's how I read, and so obviously that's how I write, and that's how I kind of want readers. I mean, readers can choose however they want to choose, but I know I'm not a very descriptive person when it comes to what my characters look like. It's probably the bare minimum, but that has a lot to do with just wanting readers to decide how the characters look to them as they read, and based on their actions and their tone and their voice and the things that they say, because that is very, very possible. But anyway, so I guess the question of did this story come about? How did this story come about, actually? Because sometimes my stories, they come about because most of the time it comes from like a lyric in a song. It could literally be a lyric in a song, and that one lyric, one word, one sentence, whatever, created a whole story in my head. Sometimes it's just a flash of something that I saw an item that I saw or a commercial. Well, I ain't gonna say a commercial. No, I ain't gonna say that. But because I barely even see commercials. So not that. But definitely a lot of times it definitely comes from a song. Oh, I know why I was gonna say commercial. Not a commercial, just maybe something that I have seen while I'm scrolling on social media. Like I may have seen a video clip of something. Oh, I know how this story came about. This story actually came about from a short story that it's two things. It's a short story that I had started working on a long time ago because I've always wanted to write short stories, but I just can't. I try, I can't. So I've given up on that I can't, because I feel like there's too much I need to say and I cannot condense it in little bitty pages or whatever. But anyway, or word count. So I've given up on that. But so it's a sprinkle of that, but then it's also a sprinkle of, I love watching dancers, like on social media, especially on TikTok and stuff like that. And so it came from these two artists that I have seen working together. Well, I'm saying two. Well, they're both artists, yeah, because you have your dancer and you have your singer. And I love watching every single video that comes up with the two of them. And it just sparked just like this idea of like, because I've done a book where it's been a dancer before, but I haven't done a book with the dancer and the artist. And I really, really wanted to do that because I just love every time I see these two together on social media, on the stage and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh man, they look like they go together. Okay, whatever. Anyway, but they don't. But as fans and all of that, we tend to decide that these two people, because of the way they perform together and they make it look so real, we decide, oh, they must have a thing going on. So that's how this came about, was more like me feeling like, what if they did have a thing going on? What if they really did have a thing going on? How would it go? How would it all play out? And so that's where it stemmed from. My characters that I created, they look absolutely nothing like the artist that I was inspired by. Nothing at all. Like, at all. Because honestly, they don't. But the story just stemmed from that. And that's where, like I said, a lot of my stories stem from something that I have seen or heard and seen visually and have been inspired by, or heard and been inspired by. So that is how Perfect Rhythm was created. It is 313 pages, I think, which is actually like I want to say it is the longest book that I have written, because Worth the Risk, I believe, is the second longest book that I have written, and it was almost 300 pages. But yeah, this one was 300 and some pages, which I'm pretty excited about, because I've been working on, making my books just a tad bit longer. So yeah. What else can I say without saying too much? I don't really like to go into too much detail about what the stories are about, because I want to give you that opportunity to read. But I will. Let me see if I can. And I really suck at explaining my stories. Like, I really hate when people are like, oh, what's the story about? Honey, read the back of the book. I don't know. And that sounds crazy, because I obviously I wrote the whole story, but it's like I really. And that's really because it's not just about my stories in general. I suck at at telling stories with my mouth. Like, I can write it down. I can brief you in words, but I cannot. I can brief you on paper. I cannot explain anything out loud. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. And you know what? I was about to try, but I just thought I'm not gonna try. Long story short, it's about an artist and his dancer, or a dancer and her artist, or whichever way you want to put it. And it's a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's pretty messy. It's messy. It's messy. But what I really hope you guys can appreciate is the overall, the way that I'm planning for it to end in, the series. Because I feel like I love to create a full circle. And because that's how I love watching, movies and series and stuff. And anytime I see a movie and it has 3 parts to it, or it's a trilogy or whatever, I always love it because I always feel like the 3rd part brings everything full circle. It makes everything make sense. So that is like my goal here, is by the time you get to book 3, God willing, y'all, I ain't gonna leave y'all hanging, I promise. But but I do plan on it to be 3 books, and I don't plan for it to be a long wait in between, so you guys won't have to feel like you wait 99 years. If it helps any, I have already started on book 2, and that is going well. But I'm really excited about where I see it going and how it's going to come full circle, and all the details that you'll get as you go along. The questions that you'll get answered. I do look forward, because there is going to be a point, where I'm going to ask you guys what questions, more than likely after every book, what questions do you want answered, or do you feel like weren't answered, blah, 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 so that I can make sure that I'm doing that. Because although that is the plan, sometimes it's easy to get wrapped up in what you're doing in the story that you're trying to tell, and you may miss something. So I do look forward to asking you guys that. I feel like there's a lot more that I have to say, but like I told y'all, I forget what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. So when I'm talking about it out loud, I forget. And this is the first time I've done this, and hopefully I will do it more. I'm not very big on, I'm a private person for the most part, so I'm not very big on like being visible, like physically visible. So I'm hoping that this is just another way for you guys to get a good idea of who I am, and the stories that I'm telling, and things like that. I will say this, because I do want to say this. I love Shade. I love him so much, because of who he is and who he's not afraid to be. I love, and I hope you guys get to, there's 2 other people that I love, Trace and Ocean. Trace is Shade's best friend, but also his security guard. And he doesn't say a lot, but he says enough. Ocean is Shade's brother, and he a trip. You get pieces of him in this book, but you'll get more of him as I go along, or as we go along. You'll get more of him. But right now you'll just get pieces of him. Hopefully the pieces that you get you like, and it kind of, it sparks something for you. It definitely sparked something for me, because Ocean really, he didn't even exist when I first started. But he started to exist. But yeah, don't hesitate to, I love when my readers message me and just tell me what you're thinking. Tell me who getting on your nerves, because crazily enough, the who gets on your nerves is what I love to hear, because they be getting on my nerves too. So the people that get on y'all's nerves, I want to know. And look, I'm gonna say this too. hey, I am from Little Rock, Arkansas, so I'm extremely country. So you're gonna hear that all throughout this message or any other message, or you hear my voice. Yeah, I'm down south. I'm down south. So you gonna hear it all. But anyway, I'm sure I'll think of more that I want to say, and hopefully I'll do this a little more often and, share some more of my thoughts. But I hope you guys are reading, and I hope you guys enjoy, and don't hesitate to share your thoughts with me, and happy reading. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.